I am Amanda Heels, and this is my sobriety ceremony. I have been utilizing psychedelics and plant medicines regularly for the past few years. Prior to that, I was medicated on a regimen of psychotropic pharmaceuticals. Prior to that, I drank alcohol regularly. I have not lived sober for about a decade. I'd like to share the reason I'm now discontinuing my use. Through my healing journey from complex PTSD, I learned that disassociation has been my primary coping mechanism in a multitude and variety of ways, including substances. For me, on my path, it's time to cut ties with this old habit and negative coping mechanism of using substances to escape triggering or scary aspects of my life, as it no longer serves me. I have developed a strong, holistic practice, and it's time to put it to the test and replace as my primary coping mechanism. So I'm choosing to live sober. I am using this ceremony to honor, celebrate, and support my sobriety. The act of ceremony is used to solidify and communicate my commitment of sobriety to myself and my support system, which includes my daughter, my mentor, my good friend, the San Francisco Psychedelic Society, the Psychedelic Recovery Group, and the plants, animals, and spirits all around me. So after my failed attempt to heal within our Western approach medical system, I saw a shamanic healer. She has medical training and indigenous Lakota Indian background. She gave me the play-by-play for the ceremony, and now I would love to share it with all of you. I welcome any questions you may have around aspects of the ceremony, so please put them in the chat, in the comments, or bring them to the psychedelic recovery groups, where I will answer them to the best of my ability. And if any questions are left unanswered, I will bring them to my shamanic mentor and get the information for you. So for those who don't know me, I'm Amanda Heels. I own a holistic wellness brand and create content around holistic health and psychedelic integration. Everything that I create is for you guys, as it's my goal to contribute back to the community that I found true healing within.
But I'll smile for the camera.
All right, so I got the crew and I'm at the spot. I'm gonna introduce you to the crew first. We got, come here, Nikki. The dog, Nikki. We got the kid,
Hello.
Ari. We got the friend, Josiah.
Josiah.
Closer to the light. Okay.
All right. I'm gonna introduce you to the spot. All right, this is the spot, yo. This is the pond. All right. I come here like damn near every day and do my energetic practice. Ooh, look, you hear that? There was a fish jumping. Oh, some ducks out there, out that way. All right, so here's the supplies. We have natural fibers. So this is 100% cotton cloth right here, and thread right here. We have sage. We have tobacco. We have hape. And that's what you need. First, we're gonna start with the sage to clear the energy. Oh, happy days. dog naked.
Gotta keep it away from all the smoke.
Okay, so this is going to go around my wrist and around that. So I'll need 2 pieces of string. And again, I chose 100% cotton. This is supposed to be all natural fiber. So this is for my wrist. This is for the bag. So you take some tobacco and you put it inside your cotton square. This is called the tobacco trap. Tobacco is known in shamanic culture for being a plant teacher. It's very relevant because it teaches the difference between use and misuse. Tobacco is misused in our country, but it's used with a purpose in other countries and in other cultures. So I'm also going to add a little bit of hape because I've been working with hape, and this is also known as shamanic snuff. And it is made of finely ground tobacco and other plants in the Amazon. So I'm going to add a little bit. You speak what you intend to release, and you breathe it into the tobacco. I intend to release my codependent behaviors and my addictions. I intend to release my use of substances.
We got it.
And now we take our tobacco trap, we put it over the sage, north, south, east, west. I intend to release my codependent behaviors. I intend to release my addictions. Put the string. Over it in all 4 directions. And then we use this string to tie. Okay, hold this now. This is my first time doing this type of ceremony. First time breaking a string too.
So you just hit the gym.
Yeah, I'm pretty swole. You know, I heard that makes ceremony better if you hit the gym first. Okay, so we have our tobacco trap prepared. Now I'll anoint the string that's going to go around my wrist, representing my pact of sobriety to myself. Here, hold this. So some ducks just came and joined our ceremony. And now I'm anointing the string that's going to go around my wrist. I call to the spirits of light, north, south, east, west. Please be present. I ask you to be a part of my ceremony. I ask you to be a part of my sobriety. Now the string gets placed around my wrist and tied, and I'm going to leave this on until I reach my goal. So I'm making a goal of sobriety for 1 week. Why 1 week? It's because of my past work as a psychiatric nurse and my observations around what contributes to relapse and what contributes to success, as well as my understanding of SMART goals. And thinking that I'm going to remain sober or maintain sobriety for the rest of my life, or for my public speaking career, or for a big chunk of time, it's very difficult for the brain to comprehend it. And to think that I'm gonna remain sober for 1 week, yeah, I could do that. That's very tangible, it's very feasible, it's digestible. So the brain likes that. It won't give up on the 1 week. You make a very short and small and easily attainable goal. And then when you reach that goal, you celebrate. It's an accomplishment. You put a W underneath your belt, and then you go with that momentum, and you can always make another goal for another week. So start small. So this represents my pact and my commitment of sobriety for 1 week to myself. And if I can't keep a promise to myself, how am I expected to keep a promise to anyone else? It all starts within. That's the most important relationship. So now we've prepared our tobacco trap, and I have made this commitment to myself. And now I'm going to communicate it to the plant spirits by throwing this up in a tree and throwing this for the tree to hold on to for me. So we're gonna go find the right tree. Check out that moon, guys. Thank you for being a part of my ceremony. All right, so now we're off to find the right tree. And while we are walking, I'm really focusing on my energy. I'm getting into like a meditative state. I'm opening my energy to give and receive. And in my head, I'm really energetically asking the plant and the animal spirits to support me in reaching my goal. Do you see that moonlight sparkling on that water? Ooh. All right, so we at the new spot with the new tree behind me and my tobacco trap.
Action.
On the blood of my ancestors, I make this pact to my sobriety. Father Sky, Mother Earth. Animals and plants around me. I ask you to support me in my sobriety. I intend to release my codependent behaviors around addictions and substances. There's a blooper. All right. On the blood of my ancestors, I make this pact to my sobriety. Father Sky, Mother Earth, spirits all around me, I ask you to support me on my sobriety journey. I intend to release my codependent behaviors around substances.
Great job, yeah.
Alright, so now it's time for the hot tub chill sesh. This is where I come to find stillness and process moments of my life. I've had some of the best conversations of my life in here, either with someone else or the universe. And now I'll share my thoughts on life And I don't believe this because I read this anywhere. This is self-developed beliefs secondary to my lived experiences as a human on this planet. So I believe that prior to incarnating into this physical realm, we're a soul. And that we each have a soul print of what we aim to experience within this lifetime for the evolution of our own soul, as well as the souls of those around us. And that it's energetically stamped upon us when we incarnate into this physical realm. Even though we forget, it's energetically stamped upon us, okay? I also believe that the plant life, they have spirits to them, and that they have an intelligence to them, and that they can read energy and communicate energetically. So if I were to believe that, right, why wouldn't I include the plant life and the plant spirits in my ceremony? Why wouldn't I ask them to help support me to reaching my soul print? And why wouldn't I want to energetically communicate with them? Alright, so I also kind of want to tell you guys, so I did a thing. I wrote a 40-minute speech about my life, the development of my company, and my business plans. Essentially, all around trauma resolution through the conscious and intentional use of psychedelics. And I hired a videographer, filmed it, and I submitted it for a $10,000 scholarship and additional public speaking opportunities. Alright, hear me out. First of all, those who know me know that I'm like the biggest Danielle, Seth, Adam, and Fatiman fangirl. And I watched Danielle and Seth's variety show where they interviewed Ismail. He goes by Izzy from Maps. And then I became an Izzy fangirl too. And I started following his content. And he shared a video of him speaking in the courtroom as an advocate for the psychedelic medicines through Maps. And I mean, inspiring. Now, ever since then, I want to speak in the courtroom. I want to take my public speaking all the way to the courtroom with the goal to address our current societal systems. Hear me out. I want to use my story to debate the point that as long as the war on drugs still exists within the legal sector, and there are diagnoses still within the DSM-5, and providers are trained to utilize them, then there will be a great amount of people who are being misdiagnosed, mislabeled, and mistreated, and therefore unhealed. They won't receive the treatment that they need for PTSD because instead they will be labeled as an addict and sent to CDIOP. Sound familiar? That's my story. And that would have a detrimental effect on our society due to the severity of the day-to-day distress associated with unhealed PTSD and the alarmingly high rate of ending in death by suicide. So I'd like to take this story all the way to the court and speak as an advocate for the psychedelic medicines and for the traumatized people out there in the world. And it heals. So I kind of feel like the greatest message I can give the societal systems is to start a career doing the #1 rated fear within our society, public speaking, and to do it 100% sober, as a testament to my holistic practice as a holistic health coach and to the true healing that through the conscious and intentional use of psychedelics. Okay? It's kind of like, oh, really? I need to be on meds for the rest of my life? Ha! 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 Let me show you what I can do. You thought I was going to go away? I'm here to stay. You know, it's just like Rick Doblin says in his TED Talk. The greatest difference between his organization, MAPS, and the pharmaceutical companies is that he's not trying to get anyone hooked on MDMA, requiring it for the entirety of their lifetime. His goal is to utilize MDMA to address the root cause and resolve it so that they don't need it again. They don't need it anymore. Can we say the same thing about the pharmaceutical companies? Is that their end goal for psychiatric treatment? Is there currently an effort to identify, address, and resolve root cause? And will pharmaceuticals end suffering? God bless you. So I essentially am a walking, talking clinical trial result, as I one time tested off the charts on a standardized assessment for PTSD, and now I'm completely asymptomatic, that I no longer require any medication in any form. That is the end goal. And that's what I would like to represent. The true healing that is possible through the conscious and intentional use of psychedelics.